On this episode of the podcast, all of our listeners will find out that they've got a friend in us. We watch Toy Story, and you're listening to Geeked Out.
Popcorn in our hands, ready for the show. From the classics to the blockbusters, we're always in the know. Throwing references like confetti, we keep it real. Geeked Out Podcast, we make you feel. We're the critics you can trust.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Geeked Out. My name is Kyle.
And I'm Juan.
As we enter into our second episode of our duo mini-series, it was Juan's choice this past week, and he decided that he was going to have us watch, I think this is only the second animated movie that we've done so far, and we watched the Pixar original, the OG Pixar Toy Story.
Yeah.
Now, this is only the second animated one we've done, and the other one was A Bug's Life. Oddly enough, the follow-up to this movie with Pixar. Now, with this being our duo series, what made you choose this one, and also kind of what's your history with this movie?
Well, it's one of the movies that inspired the idea. I had like 3 or 4 movies that just like popped in my head when I was coming up with ideas just for movies and or just themes. And for some reason, duos just kind of popped in there. There's another movie that I want to do that alongside this one definitely swayed my choice to do the theme. And, but yeah, my history with this, I believe this was a theater experience. I remember the marketing for this movie was pretty big. There's a lot of hype around it, and the movie going experience was there was a lot of that going on in my house. So especially with my father taking us to the movies was like kind of a thing we did a lot. So yeah, it definitely was a theater experience. And then I believe I liked the movie so much. As soon as it came out on VHS, we bought it.
Yeah, this wasn't a theater experience for me. I didn't go to the theater very often when I was a kid. That was more in my teenage years, especially when us being in Canada. I don't know if the States kind of had the same thing, but we used to have, and I'm sure you'll remember this, the cheap Tuesday nights where movies were only a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Once we were teenagers, especially later in our teenage years when we could drive, me and my buddies, every Tuesday we were at the theater just watching whatever was out, just because it was a cheap night and we got to go have fun with our friends and watch hopefully a good movie. This movie would have definitely been a blockbuster rental, and yeah, same thing. This was a big movie for my brother and I growing up. We were just kids when this came out, so we ended up also purchasing this on VHS, and it was.
Oh yeah.
It was a very regular in the rotation.
I think a lot of kids at that time at least asked for this movie to be bought. If they couldn't, they definitely rented it.
Or borrowed it from friends, or
any way they could get their hands on it to watch it over and over again, because the movie was it was great. It was great then. It's great now, and yeah, man, I understand why it holds up so many years later as an adult. Rewatching it.
I mean, not only it holds up, they've spawned 3 sequels. We're on the verge of the 4th one coming out later, like the 4th sequel, which is like Toy Story 5, but coming out later this year. I believe it's later this year. But
yeah, I think it's on some.
But so this movie, I'm going to get to the details in a minute, but it came out in '95. In 31 years, it's kind of now this year, like now it seems like Pixar comes out with a new movie every year and a half type thing. But unless you were around when we were just kids. So, we experienced it. I don't think we experienced it to the extent that maybe our parents would have, but this was the first all computer graphic animated movie, and that was a huge milestone
Hmm.
in terms of filmmaking, because before this, obviously, you only have the hand drawn, which, I mean, they're both fantastic. I still enjoy watching hand drawn movies now, but this just allowed animators and filmmakers to go down so many different avenues and do things they might not have been able to do before or wanted to do because of how much work it would take.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. It.
I
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I can't think of a better movie to hold that mantle as the first computer animated than Toy Story.
Yeah. It's definitely the you couldn't ask for a better movie to usher in the renaissance of the 3D animated movies. Um, because that since then it's been the standard. If you even hear of an animated movie now, your mind's going to automatically go to a 3D animated. Even though 2D animations are still out there, it's very rare that you get one of those now. Um, but and I still respect those. But the fact that this was such a hit and it just exploded out on the scene, and almost every other movie that uh, this company made after Pixar was a bona fide classic, that it became the complete standard for every other studio to fall into when making animated movies. It's
Well,
because of this one.
in recent years they've had some misses, but yeah,
Oh, yeah, but
this
like the
movie
first,
kicked off a run
when you
kind of
look at the Rotten, when you look,
unprecedented.
yeah, when you look at the Rotten Tomato scores, I think it's like 20 films before you get into it dips under 90%. Uh,
I would disagree with some of those, but that's just me.
yeah, of course.
I'm
But
personally not a Cars fan.
oh yeah, but just collectively is what I'm saying. Collectively, the entire the audience agreed and they enjoyed it, and that's just to have so many hits back to back to back to back like that is I don't think it has been done since. Like Pixar is
And,
legendary for a reason.
and honestly, I had never really thought about this before we were going to do this movie for this episode. When I was really thinking about it, most of the animated movies, especially the Disney movies, because that's always been the big animated movie like studio. Sorry, most of the ones that came up before this were focusing on the prince or princesses with. Before this, you had like the Beauty and the Beast, the Lion King,
Hmm.
Aladdin, Little Mermaid, and then going back before that, you had the Snow Whites, the Cinderellas, the Lady and the
Yeah,
Tramp, all that type of stuff. Well, they're not Lady and the Tramp aren't princes and princesses,
and like
but
Little Mermaid and stuff. And
I th-
and
I th-
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think they very smartly decided this movie is like, how do we get kids into a theater to come see something they've never seen before? And they come up with the idea of let's take something that every kid has in these toys and bring them to life to see what their lives are like when we're not around. Now,
But we're also yeah.
had they started this with, say, A Bug's Life being the first movie, I don't know if Pixar is what it is today. I
Hey,
don't know if
hey,
that.
hey,
No. I'm not
hey,
saying it's
hey.
bad, but I don't know if a movie
Oh.
about bugs would resonate with little kids as the first one of the studio the way this one does.
I mean, no, not so much. But they still would have accomplished what it was set out to do if it started out with the Bugs Life first. It just wouldn't have been as well received as Toy Story.
Yeah,
Um,
because every kid can identify with Andy. Boy, girl, it doesn't matter. We all played with
yeah,
toys. We all have that wild imagination.
and also what's happening within the conflicts of what's happening with the toys, the writing. It's relatable for a kid and also an adult too. It just depends on your point of view and how you're looking at it.
Well, the
But
adult
yeah.
gets that nostalgia, that shot of nostalgia watching him play with his toys, remembering what it was. And I mean, that's us now. We have nostalgia for the movie, but we also have nostalgia of being that 8-year-old kid playing with our toys and our action figures and creating ridiculous scenes with them. And
Yeah, especially and like it that feeling hits you as soon as the movie opens, because that's what Andy's doing. And yeah, they're doing it in a way that we've all played with our toys in a very similar way.
I will say one thing I don't think I ever did is I don't think I ever used a piggy bank as a toy.
Unless that motherfucker was empty. But no, I
Yeah,
never thought to use. Well, usually because piggy
I always
banks
found that
don't
an
really look like a
interesting little
toy.
touch.
They're not really a pig, but yeah.
No, I always found that
But
it'd be an
his,
interesting little touch that they have him have such an imagination that he even turns his piggy bank into a toy.
yeah, and he was innovative enough to like use boxes, even though they're the moving boxes. You don't realize that. But yeah, he was using boxes as like to stage the thing, and
Yeah,
yeah, it just gets you into it as you're like, yeah, man, it just tugs on those nostalgia things because it's stuff we all kind of did, even though our boxes were like that, but we all kind of set our toys up like that and did the voices and yeah, it was
absolutely. And it
you
was
know
the same thing. Like he's got all different toys from different genres, different age groups, and it was the same thing with us. Like I would have had scenes where it was like Batman characters against the Ninja Turtles and the Power Rangers too. But for some reason, because those are the action figures I had in my head, I'm like, well, they're all in the same universe, so I'm going to create a story that involves all of them.
exactly story you come up with, right?
So we'll get into the specifics and the details of this movie. Originally was released November 25th, 1995, with a budget of $30 million, and it returned with a worldwide box office. Now, I'm going to say this, it's 401.1 million. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that was just from 95, because I believe in '09 they re-released it in theaters, so I don't know if that
I think
is
they add.
taken into account. But
I think they do add it, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But
either
yeah,
way, still, even if you add that a 401 return on
and what
the
they and
studio's first movie,
yeah, and what they don't add is the VHS sales,
no,
the rental sales, and the toy sales from this, because most of these toys were actually toys you could buy around that time or a couple years later, or later on. Once
they,
the sequels came out, you could have various versions of different toys that they had,
well, which is
which is
something
it's
cool too,
smart. It's
because
marketing. It's obvious, right?
well, it's something cool too because now that they're about to come out this year with their fifth movie, you could have toys. Like I don't have any of mine, but I had like a Buzz Lightyear and a couple of the other ones. But had I kept those, I could hand those down to my children, and they would still get fun playing with them because they watch these movies now.
Mm-hmm.
Like my daughters,
Exactly.
my daughters, they have a Buzz, a Woody, and a Bullseye, which Bullseye's in the next movie. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's funny that they have those and those some of those toys I had as well, like just different versions a little bit.
I had a Buzz and I had the RC car.
The Buzz that I had was not nowhere near as big as he is in the film. He was a little smaller, but I had the one
Yeah.
with the rocket attached to his back.
Okay. I think I remember that one.
So yeah, I mean I play with that all the time, but
Oh shit.
yeah, and that could be something like I say, had I kept it, I could give that to my oldest daughter and she'd immediately go, Buzz Lightyear. Like she would know instantly what it was.
Yeah, of course. It's a franchise that just expands so many generations, and each movie is they haven't missed, man. Not one of these movies you could consider weak, even though you some people would like to say number four is weak. It's not. It's
I did.
just it's only
It,
there to ruin.
I'm not a huge fan of four.
But it's as a whole, it's not a bad movie. You can't
No,
say
but
it might.
I also think part of the reason for me
I think
is that
I think it gets a lot of hate.
I enjoyed number three so much and it hit such a chord with me that when it ended,
Yeah, exactly.
in my mind, I was like, okay, They don't have to make any more of these. And as soon as they announced number 4, I was like, well, now it's just becoming a cash grab.
I mean, unless they have a real story to say, or a real thing to say, a real message, which they really didn't. But overall, I thought it was fine. I like Duke Kaboom. I think he was
That's
awesome.
because it's Keanu Reeves.
But it didn't ruin it. None of the movies ruins the franchise or ruins it
No,
as a whole. That's what I'm
no,
trying
they
to say.
don't ruin it.
They keep with each sequel they keep pressing their luck, but we'll see what the fifth one has in store.
But even still, I'm just saying, I'm not a big fan of the fourth one, and yet when the fifth one comes out, I'm still going to see it because it's still Toy Story.
Oh yeah, it's solidified now. It's just
Now,
a franchise of movies that you go and see no
now
matter.
I probably should have looked into this more, but I didn't. I'm going to go into the ratings right now, but I'm assuming, and I believe it, this is the highest of the 4. I could be wrong, but I'm just guessing. It
I know
currently
the first
sits.
two. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I know the first two had like 100% for a while, or the first three, and then over the years,
It's
like
dropped.
it dropped like 1%.
Well, speaking of that, on IMDb currently this movie sits at an 8.3 out of 10. The critics' tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes is a 100%.
Yeah, yeah,
So this is the first 100% movie that we have done. So
perfect.
the critics literally thought this was a perfect movie, and the fans aren't too far behind. The popcorn meter has this at a 92. This movie, of course, was directed by John Lasseter. I hope that's one of the last times I ever have to say that man's name. It was written by Joss Whedon, Andrew Stanton, Joel Cohen, and Alex Sokolow, based on a story by John Lasseter, Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton, and John Ranft, I believe. It stars Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Don Rickles, Jim Varney, Wallace Shawn, John Ratzenberger, and Annie Potts. A cowboy doll is profoundly jealous when a new spaceman action figure supplants him as the top toy in a boy's bedroom. When circumstances separate them from their owner, the duo have to put aside their differences to return to him. Now,
Yeah,
right the very opening of this movie, just the Pixar opening with the lamp, I mean, just the mood that sets as soon as you see it, it's one of the most iconic studio openings that I can think of. Like it's right up there with like the Paramount Mountain dissolving and Indiana Jones.
yeah, and I think it's the lamp because before they did feature length films. They did a couple shorts before Toy Story, and I think the lamp was one of them.
The lamp was one, and the
The
other
whole
one
lamp.
was something called Tin Toy, which is
Oh,
actually what this was the original idea for Toy Story was Tin Toy.
okay,
And I believe, as far as I know, all of the Pixar shorts I believe are available on the Disney Plus app.
okay, okay.
But yeah, like right off the bat, you got the lamp opening, the iconic look of all of these toys, and of course the dulcet tones of Mr. Randy Newman.
His voice shouldn't work. His voice should not work as a singer.
It
It
shouldn't,
just
but it so
it
does for
shouldn't.
these songs.
For some reason, it just hits, and I don't understand what's happening. But it works, man. These songs are fucking iconic.
And now I know that um, Randy Newman has other music aside from what he's contributed to the movie industry. I don't
Ain't
know a
nobody
single.
give a goddamn.
I don't know a single
Is
song.
it a friend of me? 'Cause I don't know that hoe.
All I know from Randy Newman is the stuff in Toy Story and when they do the joke in Family Guy.
Exactly. And you cannot sing one of these songs without at some
Imitate it.
point doing the voice because it is crazy. It's well not crazy, but it's very unique.
Yeah.
Very unique.
Now, like we said, this movie posits that when humans are out of the room,
Ah,
our toys come to life. Now, I
logically
don't know if
crazy.
you. So when this came out, I would have been 9.
Yeah.
So right around that time, when I saw this movie, I don't know if I believed it or if I just wanted to believe it,
Hell yeah. I
but
still want to believe that shit.
I thought that was such a cool idea. And then in recent years, I've listened to other podcasts talk about this movie, and they've brought up such a morbid idea that's kind of hurt me to my core. And that was if you posit that these toys are sentient and they're alive, theoretically that could mean that eventually they could die. The human being, however, who owns that toy would never know because they don't know they're alive. So theoretically, there could be a time where a child is literally playing with the corpse of a toy.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, could they have? I mean, how could they? I know they could die if they're shredded or broken or blown up or something. But I don't know if you could just, if a toy could just die. Like, I get. I don't know. I don't know. That's never been explored. But that is kind of morbid if that's true. But essentially, they are. Do they grow old? I think they're just immortal, unless I don't know.
It's
I don't
never
know
really
logic.
explained because it's a fantasy world for kids.
Yeah, yeah. And the deeper you start questioning things, the more you got to stop yourself and remind it that this is a kids movie. You can't. It's not that deep.
And I love that in the movie they show when they're not there, the toys not only like every it seems like number one, everybody gets along, more or less. And yet there's also some kind of hierarchy because whoever gets played with the most is at the top of the pyramid and then it slowly trickles down from there. So clearly Woody, being Andy's favorite, is the leader. And I love when he does like he calls the staff meeting and he has like that etch-a-doodle where you lift the wax paper that we all would have had when we were kids.
Yeah, everybody.
He's got the little microphone toy, and it's looking back on this, like there are so many toys in this.
Trolls doll.
There's a Trolls doll, like there's so
I
many
know that
toys
Trolls doll. I don't know why.
in Andy's room that I look at and I'll be like, oh, I had that, and I had one of those, and like you get the Etch-a-Sketch, you get the I don't know what it's called, but like the one with the farm animals where you pull the cord and the thing spins, and whatever
Oh, yeah.
animal it lands on, it makes the
Cowboy.
noise. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Or
have an old school
little
speaking
tykes.
spell.
Those little tyke little. I don't know what they're not blocks. They're kind of like blocks. Like those little little tykes. I'm pretty sure they're called.
I know what you're talking about. And then there's a barrel of monkeys. Of course, there's the Green Army Men, which
Everybody had Iron
I
Guy.
mean, I think not. I'm sure there were girls who had them, but every boy that I knew had a
I
ton of
think
those. Some with the parachute, some without. And I remember we used to take the ones with the parachute and just throw them straight up in the air as high as we could. Like, oh yeah, as soon as they turn upside down, they're gonna catch. And every once in a while, you'd get one of them that would like as they would rotate in the air, it would hook one of the strings, and the parachute wouldn't work properly.
yeah. And there's another toy we all had, but not in the way that this movie they decided to make it a character.
The Slinky.
Yeah, yeah. We all had Slinkies, but not built as a dog.
I never had a Slinky that lasted me longer than maybe a couple of weeks because they all got twisted and stretched.
Yeah,
How has Slinky Dog never had that problem?
especially the shit that he goes through in this movie. You'd think he'd be all stretched out.
Exactly.
But it's again, it's one of those things. Hey, it's like you can't throw type of logic in it as a kids movie.
So of course the big conflict of the movie is Andy's birthday party. He's getting all these presents and they're all nervous about if he's going to get a new toy to replace them. Obviously he gets Buzz Lightyear, the coolest toy ever as they call it. Do you remember growing up, was there anything that kind of would be equivalent to this where it was like the big toy that every single person wanted to get, and it was like consuming. It's almost like Jamie wanting the Turbo Man in Jingle All the Way. Like that's the
Yeah,
level of excitement you seem to see.
yeah. I know the Tickle Me Elmo is pretty big. A lot of people want that Tickle Me Elmo and
But I
like
mean,
Furby.
you yourself
Me
did.
personally,
Yeah, did you ever get a toy that you were so excited about that you immediately had to like the way you hear Andy's voice when he's opening it and how he runs up to his room and he's just
yeah, I got one. It's not an action figure, but it is a toy.
what
It was
system?
nah, it wasn't. I mean, I'm going back to like the first one. It wasn't a game system, but the one that like blew my mind was I got the dagger, the Green Ranger dagger from Power Rangers.
uh, did it play the flute?
Hell yeah, I did. What are you talking about?
Okay,
Yeah, that
that's
shit was
pretty
awesome.
cool.
That was
I, I think
epic.
I think the closest I could come to with this might have been, and I can't remember what it was called, but I had gotten it. I don't remember if it was my birthday or Christmas, what it was, but it was the Ninja Turtles van, and
Oh yeah,
it had a thing in it where you could load plastic pizzas and it shot them.
I
I
think I
can't
remember
remember.
that thing.
I can't remember exactly what it's called. I remember I went crazy when I got that present because I had all the I had the action figures, but now I had the vehicle.
You had to ride for them.
And then, of
Hell
course,
yeah,
when we started getting into video games, when I got when my brother and I got our N64, it was the same. Like
yeah,
it was like those
yep.
videos you see of kids on Christmas, just like almost having a seizure.
Screaming at the top of their lungs as soon as they ripped the page. Yeah, that was me with the Xbox. That
Yeah.
was the Xbox, the very first one. I was freaking out.
So I was saying about the hierarchy and the way the toys are in the room, and as I said, everybody kind of gets along. There's no real
Yeah,
severe
everybody gets along.
oppositions to one another.
Everybody recognizes that Woody is the leader, and they all
Why
just
is
fall in
it?
line.
Why is it that the minute Buzz Lightyear arrives, both Potato Head and
Oh,
Ham instantly have all this hate and vitriol towards Woody? Like it's instant. And it's
I
not
think it.
just I dislike you, it is like hatred.
I mean, they were just. I wouldn't say hatred. I just thought they were just jealous. They were jealous and salty. They were like Woody. Woody never hated Buzz. He was just extremely jealous, and I think they were like that, and they might have been hiding it, but that shit came out in the surface as soon as they realized the pecking order changed. Yeah, they just let it out. I don't call him Mr. Potato Head. I call him Mr. Instigator. He was an instigating, hating ass little spud. Yeah, I loved it, man. Oh man, Mr. Potato Head he was great. I didn't realize how salty he was in this movie.
It's all, both him and Ham are just constant.
Ham, yeah, I didn't really notice Ham that much. Uh not as much as Mr. Potato Head. Ham towards the end, towards the second, third act of the movie, but not the initial uh, Buzz arrival. No, I didn't notice that as much.
I also will say I felt that the casting of pretty much every voice actor was just spot on. I mean, I know that
Great, it was perfect.
I know they had to replace um, Jim Varney as Slinky Dog, which I forget which movie because he passed away. But even the guy who stepped in and replaced him did a great job. Like, and of course, this is the first of John Ratzenberger showing up in every Pixar movie.
Yeah, there's actually a little joke um, because Don Wrinkles is Mr. Potato Head, right?
Yep,
He has a line. I didn't realize it because I didn't know Don Wrinkles as a damn kid. I didn't know that it was a reference to like him
Rickles.
when Rickles,
Yeah,
Rickles, okay. One of his, like, he's like a stand-up comic, and um, most notably for roasting people. And one of his lines or one of the things he calls people is hockey puck.
yep.
And when he says that line, he actually says it to a hockey puck, which is kind of a little call back to him that the comedian saying it to people. and it making a literal reference in the movie. I didn't catch you won't understand that or catch that unless you go back and watch some old Rickles stand up and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually. I believe I read that yesterday. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I wouldn't have known that when I was 9 years old,
Yeah,
10
you
years
don't
old.
unless you go
Like,
back.
I remember always asking when I would see that hockey puck, I always remember going, why does it all of a sudden have arms and legs?
I don't know, just for the joke. Only for that joke. You don't see that puck
No, never
and
again.
never again. Like it's been freaking 4 or 5 movies. But yeah, it was just set up for that movie, for that bit. I I appreciate it now, and because I every so often would call back to that scene because I was like, why you call people hockey puck? That was funny, so I like used to call people hockey puck,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just, I appreciate it.
Well, we get while in Andy's room, we get the iconic introduction to Buzz with the I come in peace and I can fly and all this. And
Following the style.
the whole thing with the Buzz is
Uh-oh.
I get that he thinks he's a space ranger, this and that, and all the other. Why does he freeze?
That's what I'm saying.
If Buzz thinks he's legitimately Buzz Lightyear, why does he freeze when humans walk in the room like a toy?
Again, it gets away with it because it's a kids movie, and it would have got away with it if every time he would freeze, someone would say or tell him to freeze. There was a couple times where Woody tells him to freeze, um, but not every time, and I think that would have been a little bit more digestible. Again, this is not for us; it's for children,
Yeah.
and children are not going to notice these things.
Even as a kid, though, he did not fly.
Absolutely not. No, I never believe. No,
It was a crazy Rube Goldberg type thing, but he did not fly.
I mean he did close his eyes, so maybe he thought he did. I mean, you're going to close your eyes, and it did. He did feel like he was flying at one point, because the damn helicopter grabbed a hold of him. But no, no, it was extremely lucky situation there.
I found that was where most of the comedy comes from, though. In this early part is with Buzz not realizing he's a toy, especially when he freaks out about his ship, and then a little later they're trying to fix it, and he says to one of the other toys, he goes, "Get me another piece or a bonding strip," and I think it's a little robot goes, "Mr. Lightyear wants more tape."
Yeah, that definitely was a big part of that was a lot of the jokes at that point was was when he
Now, did you
still
notice
didn't know.
there were two particular toy brands that were very big that were not represented in this movie? One is a boy's toy, one is a girl's toy.
Oh yeah, I know Barbie and with Hot Wheels.
Well, Hot Wheels is in it because you see a track. It was G.I. Joe.
Oh geez. Oh
So
yeah.
that's why when you get to Sid, who we'll get to in just a second, he has what they call a combat Carl because it's not G.I. Joe. And originally, the movie wanted Barbie in the movie to be like a love interest for Woody instead of Bo Peep. However,
That would make sense.
well, I mean,
I mean, I don't know if a little boy would most likely have some type of Barbie-like doll than a full Pete. I don't know, man.
but that's the
Maybe, I
thing.
guess.
But that's the thing. Bo Peep, if I mean, you don't know this in this movie. I only know because of the later movies. Bo Peep is actually not Andy's. It belongs to his sister Molly, and she's on a lamp that Molly has. So that's why she looks like she's a different material. She's porcelain, which is odd because exactly. But actually, what happened was the studio went to Mattel and they basically said, "We want Barbie in this movie." Well, the problem was nobody knew what this movie was going to do. So Mattel was very reticent about allowing their biggest selling toy to be in this movie. So they refused to give them the rights, and then obviously this movie went on to make what I say 400 million, which is why Barbie is such a main focus in the second movie because immediately they were like, "Oh, we fucked that up." Yeah, hey Pixar, you can use her in the second one.
Yep. Is there a lot? Is there a bunch of Barbies in that one?
Yeah, there's a whole aisle of them when they're in the toy store.
Exactly.
Now,
It's a Barbie car, and there's a whole lot of Barbie in there.
yeah, which is funny because I mean there are so many things in this movie that later get referenced not only in Toy Story movies but all through the Pixar universe. And one of them is when they're in Sid's house and Buzz sees the Buzz Lightyear toy commercial on TV. It's actually a commercial from Al's Toy Barn, which is the store that Wayne Knight owns in the second movie.
Mm.
There's all kinds of these things all over, but we're at this point where we get to meet, I'd say, the main antagonist of this movie, the little shithead next door, Sid. I gotta tell you, when I was a kid, I kind of found Sid amusing.
Amusing.
I mean,
I recognize what he was then, even more now. So I was like, this motherfucker is a problem.
I mean,
But
we
I
we used to,
understand.
me and my
He
friend
is
used
a,
to pull our toys apart once in a while.
yeah, true.
We didn't blow them up with dynamite or fireworks, but
No, we didn't, we didn't, or yeah, or like, yeah, tear them apart and put them back together with different other toy parts and stuff.
this kid is obviously the unfortunate product of not a great
lack
home life.
lack of complete supervision and
I mean, you never see his mother, and when you see his
oh,
father,
Jesus.
his chair is surrounded by just cans. Well, take a guess what's in those cans. Like they paint his dad as like basically an alcoholic.
Yeah, at the very least, just neglect. Like both his parents are neglectful. He's not, no one paying attention to this kid. That's why he gets away with.
Well,
That's why he gets away with everything that's in his room. That is a huge red flag.
I mean, you want even if it wasn't for the toys, if you want to know that this kid isn't being paid attention to, just look at his bed. He is sleeping on a bed with no sheets.
Yeah, that's a clear sign.
No sheets, no pillowcase, just a mattress.
And just the things in his room. He's got like power tools and got fucking like a vice thing attached to the
Yeah,
desk.
he has a desk with a full vice on it.
He's got a fucking door with like straight padlocks, several. He's got a book. You see the book? He's got an interrogation book in like in there. That's what
It's it
in the same
reminded me
crate.
of it
What do
reminded
you?
me of the Winter Soldier book.
I'm like, what is this kid? What is he going through right now? Somebody hug this boy.
Well, and then
But
just
you know,
I mean, just look at the
what happened
toys
to him?
that he's created. You've
I
got
mean, I was impressed. I was impressed by some of them. He's got real
the fact that he got
ingenuity.
them to still work. I was thinking the same thing. He has ingenuity because he's
Like,
got the baby's head on what looks like legs made out of a rector set.
yeah, he's got
The
like a,
ja-
Pez
the
dispenser, but it's also inside of like a body. I think that I was impressed by that one.
the Jack in the Box with a Frankenstein's monster like hand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Legs,
and
fishing pole with legs.
yeah, I mean, honestly, one of my favorite. It's another Easter egg, but it's in Sid's room is the bin for toolbox.
Mm-hmm. And his carpet, the carpet is at least in the hallway. I wasn't
Yeah,
really paying attention to his room, but the carpet's the same carpet from The Shining.
yeah, the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah.
I and you know what? We went right to Sid's house and completely skipped over Pizza Planet.
Okay, let's circle back. It's insane that we missed it. Pizza Planet. I
Yeah,
fucking wished this was a real place. Like I
it
always
it
wanted a
is.
place like this to exist.
It
Like in
is.
Disneyland.
Yep.
Talk about Disneyland. The
I don't think
exact
it's. I don't think it's quite the same way as it
Yeah,
is.
exactly. I want the exact everything that that shit showed. I wanted the way the fucking giant rocket on the outside, the way you come in. I want it all. I wished more than anything that that existed.
I mean, I would still go there. It's basically
I still go there,
it's basically like a sci-fi version of a Chuck E. Cheese.
but like was way more of a budget. Somebody just sunk a shit ton more money. But
Yeah, and
yeah, it was
they
just
and they covered it wall to wall in
nothing
black
but space
lights and
stuff.
fluorescent neon lighting.
Now I wouldn't fuck with the alien throwing up into my drink to give me the drink. I don't think I'd mess with that. Even then, I thought it was gross.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I'd skip that, but that's just a kids. Kids like gross shit. They they like shit like that.
And
I don't know
only because I know that they're alive, you know what I'd be skipping? Is those fucking green aliens. I hate those things.
why. Oh, you mean the minions?
Yes.
You know fucking damn well these are the prototype minions.
Oh, I know, and I hate the minions
Whoever
too.
whoever created them is definitely inspired by this scene and these aliens specifically for sure.
I've
It's hard
always
not to make a comparison.
I've always disliked them personally.
I didn't mind them, but yeah, they are annoying. As a whole, individually, when they're separated from a group of them, they're not bad. But
I
if you
if
get
the voice just
collectively,
ugh,
yeah, I can't even do it.
the cloud.
Yeah, but yeah, it gets annoying quick,
Yeah, did
especially
now
especially when they,
I was kind of this could just be because I'm a bit of a movie nerd. I was kind of looking out. I kind of touched on a few little Easter eggs in here and there. I was kind of trying to keep an eye out for some of them. Were there any that you kind of noticed, or that you might have?
anyway,
Were you looking for any, or did you happen to just
anyway, sorry.
any Easter eggs or things that might show up in later Pixar or Toy Story movies?
There's one that's supposed to be like Lotso.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that one.
but the bear, I don't know if it's like a purple bear that you see, I think, once.
Is it at Pizza Planet?
Uh, no, it's not Pizza Planet, but specifically at Pizza Planet, in the Easter egg,
Well, not just
no.
necessarily Pizza Planet. Anywhere in the whole movie.
In the movie, no, no, no. Okay, that's what I thought. No, no, no. That bear was in the during the beginning when he's just talking to everybody about the party being moved to that day. There's a quick shot of a bear.
Oh,
Apparently, I don't know. I think it's a stretch Easter egg, but
the Lotso
I mean,
wasn't Andy's.
it was in the room, but it was a random bear that you see. I don't.
Oh, I
Some
got you.
people are saying that it is a connection, but I don't see it. There is a hidden Mickey that you see.
Mouse?
Yep, 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 yep. Not it's not in a like toy form. It's actually on the wall. It's a clock. It's a big ass watch clock that they have on the wall. I noticed.
Oh,
I don't think I noticed before. Um, and
no,
I
that.
noticed only because I know of the story behind it. The license plate, the
Yeah,
A113, I believe.
yep,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
How does that?
That was a classroom number at the California University of California Art Studio or
Yep.
something. It was where a
Hmm.
lot of animators worked, including John Lasseter, even Batman. What the hell's his name? Tim Burton went to school there, and so that A113 I think appears somewhere in every Pixar movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you have in the beginning when it's Andy's party, there's the ball with the star on it. That's all over Pixar as well.
Yeah.
The gas station is Dynaco, which is one of the sponsors in Cars.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like there's little things all over that. Watching it for the first time, obviously no one would notice because it's the first movie. But now, how they've got what over like 20, 25 movies, whatever, you can go back and you can find those little things kind of hidden throughout.
And I guess this was the first movie to introduce an Easter egg that is also in every single Pixar movie.
John
And it's
Ratzenberger.
no the Pizza Planet truck.
Yep.
makes an appearance in, I think, in every single one, as far as I know. And also, I
Yes,
want to point out, it's not an Easter egg, but if you do go back to Andy's party, uh, when you see the kids, the other children, they're all just different versions of Andy.
yes,
The same
yeah.
goddamn kid. That's
It's
why they
a
didn't have. They showed the kids from the neck down when they came into the room, because it's the same face.
well, it's a real good thing though that they focused on toys because the humans in this movie are fucking terrifying.
You know what's worse?
Molly,
The dog. The dog is by far the worst designed, took me out
yeah,
character
he's
ever.
not good. He's not good, but
Terrible.
Molly, Andy's baby sister, is a fucking demon child, nightmare fuel.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we didn't get a whole lot of her, and a lot of the. I mean, yeah.
Also, I never.
Aside from some of the human, like all the humans, whenever they focused on them, and with the toys, sometimes they blink a little weird. But other than that, and the dog being horrible, the worst design, like just I get it, it's 1995. Other than that, yeah, I think whenever they focus on the toys, which is the majority of the movie, thank God, I think it looked pretty good
Yeah,
still.
yeah, the toys look fantastic. The other thing that I can't forgive, especially now having children of my own, and I never noticed until watching it this time, when they are driving, the mother has Molly, the baby, in a car seat in the front seat of the
Front
car.
seat. You could tell whoever designed that scene doesn't have children because they
Well,
wouldn't have done that.
but I also know why they did it that way because they did it that way because the ending when Woody and Buzz fly in through the sunroof, they needed to
Yeah,
have Andy in the back seat.
yeah. I mean,
But
I,
but he's in a van.
plot. I
Why
get.
they couldn't have his sister next to him, I have no idea.
I don't know, man. I'm sure there are the reasons, but it's something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing in Sid's house is such a weird. You go from like you said, to torture, interrogation, to then like Buzz has like almost like Stockholm syndrome after he falls down the stairs.
Oh, he has an existential crisis. I think there's two. There's two. I mean, Buzz and Woody both kind of have these crises throughout the well, not throughout the movie, but in the movie. It's just Buzz is later in the movie, and Woody's was more towards the beginning,
Yeah,
and it was his crisis that kind of led to the events that happened throughout the movie, the plot of the movie. But yeah, when it hit Buzz, it hit him in a completely different way. It hit hard.
it's wild.
It is wild.
The whole like, I, I'm Mrs. Nesbit. And but again, we were saying how Sid is not because after you get that, they go back in his room. Um, Sid is not supervised. The kid orders a fucking rocket firework that, from the looks of it, is bigger than the toy. And Buzz looks like he's about a 12-inch,
Hmm.
10 to 12-inch action figure. This thing is bigger than him. He reads out on the side of it, keep out of reach of children. And he's just going to go set this thing off in his backyard. Like, we have NFL. Jason Pierre-Paul lost 3 fingers playing with fireworks.
I mean, the way you're introduced to Sid is he's blowing up an army guy. He
Yeah.
blew it up, and I mean, when he blows it up, you don't see it, but you see the result. You see you hear the explosion. You see that it caused enough of an explosion that it like shook shit,
Well,
and you could.
they exaggerated
So like,
obviously, but my God, it's
did
like if
they?
you,
I
it's
don't
like
know, man. And I'm surprised none of the. I mean, obviously, you couldn't have more plots going on, so those subplots, but a neighbor,
but that thing
somebody would have said something. Like, what
it
is
looks
going
like
on?
it's a fucking M80 that he straps to that thing's back. And if I'm not,
It
I
it
believe an
went
M80 is like half a stick of dynamite.
it went off like a full stick of dynamite. Just I was like, there's no way this kid would get away with that in that neighborhood.
Well, speaking of,
That would be
one more
nuts.
thing with Sid though, he comes back, right?
Mm-hmm. He's in this
Okay.
third one.
Yeah, he's the garbage. He's the garbage man.
I mean, I don't. They might have confirmed it. I'm not too sure, but he does have the same T-shirt.
Whether I believe they have, but even if they haven't confirmed it, in my head canon, he's the garbage guy. He's the garbage man.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
whole story behind it. Like, there's a reason why he's a garbage man.
One of the, one of the funnier parts when Woody's yelling across the window and he's trying to convince the other toys that him and Buzz are good friends again, and he's got Buzz's his arm and he's like patting himself on the back. And then I think they say, "What are you trying to pull?" And he's like, "Nothing." And he's holding the arm just by itself. And they all scream, and Rex has to run out of frame to throw up.
Yeah.
Rex might be one of my favorite of the toys.
Really?
A lot of it has to do with Wallace Shawn doing the voice.
It definitely adds to it. And he says he's got great timing and great delivery. He does the funny thing at the right time. And he's not annoying. None of the
And it,
characters are annoying. They're just, and even though he is supposed to be like, I guess, the annoying quote unquote character, he's not. He's endearing. Even though he's supposed to be the predator T-Rex, and he's kind of a wuss.
well, and it's hard to watch these movies without, especially having seen all of the ones following it. It's hard to watch them without thinking about where some of the characters go and how they develop. In the later movies, especially like with Rex becoming super into like the video games and then by the third one he's got another dinosaur that they play computer games together because both of them have their arms are too short to reach the other side of the keyboard, so they play together.
Mm. Yeah.
Now
I always,
the whole
I always find that funny. Anytime I see a dinosaur struggling because it has short arms,
short arms.
I'm laughing.
Now, what about what's not funny is the
What?
way that Woody and Buzz escape, which is going to cause Sid thousands of dollars in therapy.
Tens of thousands. What are you talking about?
But it's a crazy plan that they get to work, like isolating the dog by himself, getting everybody to the backyard.
Right? Getting ready. Some of them in positions that will definitely haunt his dreams.
I mean, just think about how you would have reacted if you're like an 8-9-year-old kid and all of a sudden something like that happened. Like
Me personally, I'd be fine with it because I don't torture and break my toys.
you
I
know
would
what
have
I
been
mean.
fine. That's what I'm saying. But if I was a motherfucker who disrespected toys and didn't think they were sentient and just treated them as just nothing, yeah, I'd be more than terrified.
Well, it's bad enough that he's holding Woody and he says something that's not in his voice box. He's like, "Oh, the thing's busted," and then all of a sudden, Woody not only answers him but then refers to him by name.
But it doesn't. It sounds like it's in the voice box, which is crazy. So he could talk like like a live person, but he can also distort his voice so it's talking through the toy, the voice
Yeah,
box, which is insane. It's scary as hell.
one and it's scary. You've got the stuff coming out of the sand, and then like the destroyed army men limping out of the mud and the puddles. Like
Yeah, that little frog,
this kid,
everything.
this kid is never gonna touch a toy again. He will, like you say, have to spend tens of thousands of dollars in therapy. Like I
Yeah,
can just imagine this kid like going crazy and picketing outside of like a Toys R Us, like the toys are like demonic and they're alive and
yeah. right? I'm surprised he even became an adult picking trash or being a garbage man in the first place. You would think he'd be sent.
Contributing to society.
You would think he'd be sent to an asylum or something, or
Yeah,
because
it's
you wouldn't you're telling the truth and you wouldn't be able to let it go,
but you're
but
never going to be able to prove it.
you're never gonna be able. I mean, how sloppy some of these toys are, you would think, more people would know, but
I
no.
mean, people would know because of the things as
The end
simple
of the
as like,
movie. End of the movie.
well, yeah,
What's happening with what they're doing? You're like, no one's seeing this?
but I mean, even things as simple as like, I think it was just a few years after this, the big thing was like the nanny cams.
Mm.
If you have a nanny cam in your living room, and all of a sudden there's nobody in the room, and you see toys moving around, obviously someone's going to believe them. But yeah,
Right.
he would be going and telling his parents, and of course they don't give a shit, so they would just, oh yeah, good one, Sid, good story, whatever, go to your room.
You wouldn't be able to shut up about it at school, or teachers
No,
get involved, and CPS. And I'm telling you, it's not good for Sid after this for a while.
no, he'd be
Sid
in
is not okay.
they'd be putting him in a padded room before he turns 16.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But yeah, this whole chase scene, like, you, first of all, you watch Buzz and Woody just running down the middle of the street in broad daylight.
Exactly.
I love that when he
Hold
finally
on.
gets. I love that when he finally gets the door open and he's looking through the toys, and he pulls out RC and just kicks him off the thing. And I think it's Rex just goes, "He's at it again."
And one thing I noticed, okay, that's a big ass moving truck.
It's
That
huge.
motherfucker, and that motherfucker is there's like three boxes.
I know. It's not even half
It's
full.
like, right? Like, oh, that's all your stuff? Where's the couches and the refrigerator? Like, where's everything? This is the only move, right? What's going on here? But I
Yeah,
get
but
it. They had to do that, you know.
so they're easy to find.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Exactly. I just thought it was
it,
funny. Big ass
it's
truck. And
it's funny too that Woody's holding the remote, which is literally just you pull a trigger and you turn a wheel. But when the toys start picking him up and like spinning him, all of a sudden RC goes in a circle. It's like the car doesn't drive in the direction that he's holding the controller.
this is just where the kid cartoon logic comes into play.
And then, I mean, also, yeah, I don't understand how nobody's seen, because it's one thing when you see them running,
Nobody is seeing
well,
this.
them running down the street, but then you get the strongman toy lowering
Yeah,
the fucking
MVP.
lowering the ramp while the truck is moving, and nobody has any clue
And
what's
all
going on.
types of sparks. No, nope. Everybody's just driving like nothing going on.
I do love though that when they do end up finally lighting the rocket, thankfully using Buzz, I almost called him Bud, Buzz's helmet as they're flying. They're going too fast, and Woody just fucking lets go of RC as they come to the truck, and they just decimate Potato Head.
Smoke some. That shit
But
was fun.
he's also the only one who could
Perfect
do that
scene.
joke, because any of the other toys would legitimately be broken.
Yeah, and it's throughout the movie. I appreciate that. Like whenever they had a chance to, utilize
The
his Mr.
Picasso joke.
Potato-ness. Picasso, I can't see, so he takes his eyes off. Him
I
taking
like
his
it
lips off to kiss his ass.
at the end. I better shave.
Yeah, or he works out as like a deadlift and rips his
His
fucking arms
arms
off.
fall out. Yeah,
Shit was funny.
yeah. They use his makeup for a lot of the physical humor with the toys. But yeah, they let go of RC, go straight up, and I love that the whole thing of right after he lights it, Woody, the line, "I just lit a rocket. Rockets explode." And then, of course, they fly up, and he goes, "Buzz, we're gonna die." I don't know if he says we're gonna die, or he
No,
says
he says
something like,
rocks explode. He said rocks explode, and then Buzz says not today.
and he hits the
Like,
wings,
yeah,
which apparently these wings are strong enough to cut through a couple layers of duct tape.
sure.
Which I've
It's the
had
90s. Toys.
I've had dull knives that can't cut through duct tape.
Hey, this is Buzz Lightyear. He's different. He's a different toy. Could do that shit.
And then, oh, we missed the truck. We're not aiming for the truck.
Yeah.
But even still, Andy's like, oh, they're right here where I left them. No, no, that box you literally carried from your bedroom and put there, and you knew
What
what was
happened?
in it, and now all of a sudden these two toys just out of thin air appeared.
Exactly. And it's not the same type kind of thing, but have you ever tried to look for something and you looked all over and then you get your mom to look and she finds it
Instant.
in 1 second in the same spot that you
Yes.
looked in. It's kind of that same energy, even though it's not the exact same thing. So as a kid, you just kind of just chalk it up like, I guess I just wasn't looking, even though it doesn't make
And
sense.
of course, his mom does just the stereotypical, see? What I tell you? Right where you left them.
Mm-hmm. Because we've all been there. It's all happened, right? And maybe that's what happens. Maybe that's why, because our toys came to life and moved.
I doubt it, but sure. I mean, there was one time when I believe I was so desperate to believe that.
Well, whenever your parents like, the famous line, they didn't grow two legs and walk away, right?
Yeah, what if it
I
did?
know my mom said that all the time. So, hey, I mean, if this movie says anything, it's like maybe, maybe that's what happened.
I mean, this is another one of those. Like it reminds me a little bit of like the way it ends, kind of right where it began. Like at the beginning is the birthday party when they're all the toys are freaking out. Now the end is Christmas where all the toys are kind of freaking out. It kind of reminded me of the way a lot of um, animated TV show episodes would be, where like no matter what happens throughout the episode, everything the status quo is always back to even when the episode ends.
Hmm.
Whereas like this movie, regardless of what happened throughout the movie, we're still right back where we started at the end of the movie. And they're panicking about what toys are going to get. And of course, you get Potato Head gets Molly gets a Mrs. Potato Head, hence the I better shave line. But Buzz Lightyear, are you telling me that? Are you afraid of what Andy's going to get? What could he possibly get that's better than you? Better than you? Oh, it's a puppy. All credits.
Yeah, which, you get introduced to the dog in the next one.
And then he's ancient by the third one.
Yeah, yeah, time definitely passed by. I think between the first and the third one, it's because the first one he's like he had a birthday. Was he like? Did they say how old he was?
I'm guessing around 8 or something like that. But the
But
timeline doesn't work because I believe there's like 20 years between the first and third film.
the third one he's going off to college. He's going
Yes.
off to college, so he's like 18, 17, 18, 19.
Sorry,
Uh,
there's 25 years between the first and third movie.
no, he's going to college. Is he going
Yes.
to college in the third one? Okay.
Yes. So obviously like the actual years don't add up, but yeah, the third one he's going off to college. So he doesn't
I
have
think it followed like our linear time. 'Cause I think the same people that watched the third one were of around the same age as Andy. I think I was 8 when the first
no.
Toy Story came out.
Yeah, yeah, but then you were not 18 in 2010.
Is that when
That's when the third one came out 25 years later.
mm,
Because I remember when it came out, there was a group on Facebook that was it
okay,
basically said something.
I was
It was
22. I would have been no, 'cause I would have been I would have been what 20. So I've been around the age, not the exact age, but I would have been around it, just off by a few years.
sorry 15. Where my math is way off. It's too late. It's too late at night.
As I was saying, I think that's why they did it.
15, not 25.
That's
I'm sorry.
that's why they made Andy a little bit older, so that you know for the people who grew up with him.
Yeah, because I was I started college in '04.
Hmm. It started '05. So,
But yeah, I mean that no, I'm sorry. As I was saying, there was a. I just remember there was a group on Facebook, right when Toy Story 3 was coming out, and it basically the title was something like "Get Out of My Way, 10-year-old kids. I've been waiting almost 20 years for this movie."
hmm.
Because if you remember when Toy Story 3 came out, yeah, there were little kids there, but the majority of the audience was probably like people from our generation.
Yeah, my favorite, like, there's a meme, and it's along those same lines. It's like a kid. No, it's like a grown man. He's like a grown man's at Disney World with his kid, and he took a selfie with Buzz.
Yep.
It his son, he's like, I don't think he's in the actual frame of the photo. It's just it's just the father and Buzz, and then there's like a separate photo or something with like the kid kind of just standing there,
I mean,
all like,
nostalgia is a powerful thing.
yeah. And this one was a part of our childhood. Like, there's a very a handful of franchises and characters within those franchises that are just so iconic that they're just a part of a millennial, or I mean, they cross generations, but it started with us. And
I don't know if there's a franchise like this though that started when we were kids and is still going with the majority of the same actors, the same
yeah,
character, like, but
the only one I can think of.
it's still being marketed to kids, even though people of our age will obviously go see it because of that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, for that too. And also the way that they write these movies, they do add enough I guess adult humor or adult jokes or along those lines that would appeal to adults that would totally go over kids' heads. Like there's at the beginning of the movie with Bo Peep was, offering something to Buzz. I mean, sorry, to Woody.
Yeah,
That's something we wouldn't really catch. And the whole ass kisser with Mr. Potato Head, those little things that would totally go over our head that we wouldn't really understand until
yeah,
older.
they put
And there's
something.
enough of those sprinkled throughout the movie that adults can find just as much enjoyment as the kids.
Yeah, it keeps them entertained enough to at least be there through the movie while their kids watch it.
Hmm.
But
And
that's
like,
going to bring. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and the whole part of the first act of the movie is being replaced. As a kid, when you're looking at it, you're looking at it very surface level because we've all had our favorite toy and we've all replaced that toy with another favorite toy. But as an adult, you look at it different because we've had experience. I've all been in a situation where we were replaced ourselves by, whether it be a friendship or, a relationship.
Or a
So seeing
job.
it, or a job or anything like that. And yeah, when you see it, you can see that perspective. Um,
Yeah, this
looking at
movie works on many different levels for many different age groups because of that central theme.
it. And it just depends on, where you are in life. You'll look at it in a different perspective. That's a testament to how strong the writing is in this movie and a lot of Pixar movies.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's going to bring us to the end of this movie. I think we can. I think, anyways, we can move on to final thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'll let you take that away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, man. This movie, it's not just a movie, honestly. A seismic shift in the history of film. It's ushering in a new era, going from traditionally drawn animation to the uh, the renaissance of 3D animation, which is a thing is still strong today, 2026. I love this movie. I don't know if my what I was saying about this movie is it was any indicator of much I love this movie. What's good about this, obviously, is the chemistry between Buzz and Woody, or Hanks and Alan, whatever you want to call it. And even with their interactions with all the other toys, it was great. All the background characters were great. Uh, the writing obviously is great. Very simple premise, but so many layers within the story. It's amazing. Uh, Not too many bads, besides some of the design models. Obviously, the you're limited of the technology of 1995, but besides a few things, I think it still holds up. The whole being replaced by like a newer toy, like the new tech versus the old school tech metaphor. You can look at it kind of several ways, really. Um, but I look at it because I'm a critic now in my critique mind. I compare it to Buzz being the CG, the 3D animated Renaissance, and Woody being the traditionally hand-drawn animation style, and it being replaced. And I don't know if that was one of the metaphors that they were going with, but that's what I was seeing when I watched this movie. The adult jokes were great, sprinkled throughout the movie. Another reason why it holds up because it appeals to almost every age. Um, yeah, man, I can't recommend this enough to people. Doesn't matter if you're 38-year-old man like myself or a 5-year-old kid just discovering these movies. I recommend it to everyone. Unless you just really don't like animes, like anything animated. Even then, I would still tell you to give it a shot just because the writing's so strong. Honestly, I can't give this anything less than a 10. This is a cinematic milestone and a masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I could say better than what you said. This movie is an absolute masterpiece all the way around. And you're right, it is the foundation of 3D animation, whether it be Pixar, DreamWorks, any of those other studios that have come after. The relationship with Woody and Buzz going from the antagonistical kind of warring with one another to basically being best friends. Yeah, it's something that's been done in movies before, but I think the way they did it in this is was so nuanced and special that there was something a little extra brought to it. Um, I love the animation aside from, like we said, the people and the dog. There's a reason the movie focused on the toys because clearly that is what looked best on film. Yeah, this movie has been an absolute bedrock of my love of movies. It was I watched it when I was so young, and it's held up. And like you said, whether you're 38, 39 years old, or my oldest is 4, we both love this movie. Um, and I couldn't agree more. I would recommend this across the board to everybody to watch this movie, watch it again. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you smile. And you're right, this is the first movie for me that I would call a perfect movie, and I'm also going to be giving it a 10 out of 10. Now, for our next movie,
Oh man, there you go.
it's my turn to pick. I've had all different ideas kind of bouncing around my head this past week.
Hmm.
And there was one movie that I kept thinking of, and I would move away from it, and I just kept coming back to it. It's an absolute iconic performance from both male leads. Now, we've done a movie where we had
Oh
partners.
man, I think I know what you're talking about. I think this is on my list. I think I know where you're going.
We've had a movie where the two characters were partners. We've had this where they were enemies slash rivals that became friends. And this one, they are, well, I don't know if there's any other way to put this except mortal enemies, starring the one and only John Travolta, the one and only Nicolas Cage, we're watching Face Off.
Okay.
One of the best action movies of the 90s, in my opinion.
It's alright. It's alright.
All right.
It's okay. I enjoy it. I
It's
think I watched.
stupid action at its finest.
I can't not think of them boots. Them boots in the prison, bro. I can't stop thinking about them boots. The gravity boots.
Just close your eyes and
I
let
can't.
John
I can't.
and
My
let
brain
John
immediately goes to that.
let John Woo's doves fly
Why?
over you.
I am excited. I do like a good John Woo movie, so I'm always down for that. And his gun fu choreography is always super ass entertaining. I'm always looking forward to that. And it's Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, being John Travolta.
And John Travolta being Nicolas Cage,
And Nicolas Cage being John Travolta. So there's a whole lot of craziness going on in this movie. I'm here for it.
yeah, it's if you've never seen it before, buckle up because it's an insane ride. Well, until next week for that episode, where, as I said, we will watch Face Off. I would like to thank everybody for listening, and we would also like to invite you guys to continue to subscribe, give us a rate, review. It'll help us grow the podcast. And if there's something you hear on the show that you like, or you know somebody who likes one of the movies that we reviewed, send them a link to the podcast and tell them that they should listen. Because if we talk about a movie they like, maybe they'll enjoy hearing us talk about it. And we want to keep this podcast growing, and we would really love the help from all of you people out there in listener land. So until next time, we want to, as I said, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.